All right, shalom, brothers. Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakathum, and welcome to Lexicon of GMS. The topic of this show is how to make and wrap a MITRE. Okay, and I'm going to be going into a few scriptures and definitions and the Hebrew word for the word MITRE on this show, so that you brothers know and you're knowledgeable of it. And I'm going to tell you how much material you're going to need to make this MITRE. And to be well on your way to making one for yourself and wrap it on your own. All right. So I first want to begin with the definition of the word MITRE. In today's terms, they'll call it a turban. All right. But the turban of a priest of a Levite priest was known as a MITRE. All right. That was the Hebrew word for it, or that's pretty much the English rendition for the word MITRE. Like I said, I'm gonna go and tell you the Hebrew translation of that. Now, if you look at the screen right now, this is the blue letter Bible. Right here, the Hebrew word for MITRE is right here. Okay, and the Strong's entry is H4701, and as you see, you have a ma, a tazah, a na, a pa, and a tha. So when you put this all together, you have matazun path. Okay, matazun path. That's how you say. That's the Hebrew word for the word MITRE. Definition down here they have is a MITRE, a diadem, matazun path, from the root word tazunpa, to wind around. Okay, because that's what you're gonna have to do after you make this MITRE. After you get it to the dimension you want it, you're gonna have to wind it around your head. The tiara of the high priest, Exodus 28:4, and verse 29. Okay, and of a king. These are some of the scriptures here that they have. Exodus 28:4, and these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate, and an ephod, and a robe, and a broidered coat, a MITRE, and a girdle. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother and his sons, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. Now, that was pretty much the dress code for a Levite priest. All right, Aaron and his sons, and the Levitical priesthood. Now, according to the scripture, we are all gonna be priests, right? We are all gonna be priests. So pretty much that's why we dress the way we do. That's why we're out there with the garments, with the fringes and the ribbon of blue. Like it says in the book of Numbers 15:38. Okay, and it sets us apart from the rest of the world. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we're out there doing that. It represents Israel, our dress code, our dress attire, and what the Lord requires of us. Okay. That's part of it. All right. So now I had mentioned that we are going to be priests, right? So let me go to the book of Revelation, the 20th chapter, and give me 1 second. All right. I'm sorry, I believe that was Revelation, the fifth chapter is what I'm looking for. Okay, yes. I'm sorry about that. It's Revelation, the 5th chapter and the 10th verse. Salakia. It says, let's start at 9th verse, right? And it says, and they sung a new song, saying, thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to Yahweh by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. Talking about Yahweh Shai. All right. He was crucified and resurrected from the dead, and he did it for the elect's sake of Israel that were scattered throughout every kindred, every tongue and people and nation on the planet Earth. The Hebrew Israelites that were scattered abroad, just like the curse says in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and the 68th verse. Okay. And has made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. Okay, so we are priests. We are to dress like have this dress code like the the Levitical priests had. All right. Now all Israel, all right, all the elect is to follow that same suit, that same format. All right. So now that's part of being an Israelite. All right. So now that's one scripture. Now I'm gonna read the definition of the word MITRE. Now when you go to MITRE, it sends you to look up the word dress. And when you go, this is the Zondervan Bible, the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It's good for you brothers to have this in your possession because it's a good reference tool when you're doing your studies. All right, it got bones in it, meaning they go off. All right, but it has a lot of meat too. Okay, now this is like the third paragraph under this definition. It says the clothing worn by the Hebrew people of biblical times was graceful, modest, and exceedingly significant. They were considered so much a part of those who wore them that they not only told who and what they were, but were intended as external symbols of the individual's innermost feelings and deepest desires, and his moral urge to represent the Most High aright. Okay? With certain kinds of cloth and with astonishingly vivid colors of white, purple, scarlet, blue, yellow, and black, they were presented the state of their minds and emotions. When joyful and ready to enter into festive occasions, they donned their clothing of brightest array. And when they mourned or humbled themselves, they put on sackcloth, literally cloth from which sacks were made. All right, and which is true. Like all the clothes that we wear today is sackcloth. I'm going to jump to headdress, right? It says, the headdress was chiefly worn as a protection against the sun and a finish to a completed costume. It varied from time to time according to rank, sex, nationality. In the main, however, there were three known types that were worn by the male members of the Hebrew and surrounding nations: the cap, the turban, and the headscarf, which another word for MITRE would be turban. In today's term, they'll see you with it. Somebody would say, "Oh, he has a turban on his head." Except with us, we wear ours. We wrap ours in a way where we have the top of our heads still open. Okay, because according to 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, all right, it says this. All right, start the third verse, right? It says, this is 1 Corinthians 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahushua, and the head of the woman is the man, right? The Hebrew Israelite man, and the head of Yahushua is Yahweh. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head. So you're not, when you're praying and when you're prophesying, you brothers out there, they're out in the streets and the camps teaching. Hey, shalom, bro. Out there teaching, you know, you can't have your head covered. All right, you're supposed to have it open. And if you're gonna have a MITRE, make sure that you make it the way that we teach you how to make it. Okay, which we're gonna go into. All right, you can't have having your head covered. Why? Because your spirit dwells in your head, and the Most High, you know, deals that way. You know, that's why when you're a baby, a baby has a soft spot, and you gotta protect that soft spot. You know, that it don't get damaged. You know, that he don't get hit there. Why? Because a baby could die, straight up die. Okay, so you got two soft spots on the sides of your head. All right, they call that what? The temple. And that goes according to 1 Corinthians 3 and 16, where it says that the Most High don't dwell in temples made with hands. You know, pretty much you are the temple of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So with that being said, we could roll on. Okay. Now there's a few scriptures that you could go to dealing with the MITRE. Right here, as you see, they have a list of them. The entry level is 4701. I mean, the entry number, sorry, in Strong's is 4701. Okay, now you got Exodus 28, verse 4, and verses 37 to 39. Exodus 29, verse 6. All right, Exodus 39, verse 31. Zechariah 3 and 5, you know, that's dealing with the high priest Joshua. All right, and we could